Bum 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 bum. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to an early hour PropAholics show. Reason being, weigh-in show is going to be coming out at like 2, 3 a.m. tonight. I'll be live in the early hours of the morning for the road to the UFC, baby. So lots of content still on the way. And I said, shit, man, I got to make sure I start this thing before 5 o'clock today. So 4:30, a little early hour, Propaholics, late afternoon, maybe early evening, whatever you want to call it. Hey, Trip, thank you for the month of membership, bro. Feels good to watch us during lunch break. Let's go, my boy. It feels nice. It's like a lunchtime live vibe. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, Trip. AJ's just going back and forth with T Park on the shitter. I was literally shitting while I was trashing him back and forth. Oh, he was just, he was trying to get under my skin. You know what I'm saying? But I figured the perfect time to go back and forth with the hating is on the toilet, bro, because it doesn't mean shit to me. So that's it. It was good entertainment, though. It was fun. I also wanted to keep the chat active as I was, a little bit behind schedule. Bro, I completely agree. Hard Rock is tripping with no road to UFC. I want to play some parlays, bro. You guys know I gave out a whole parlay section of what I think's live for road to UFC. I wanted to do Mahashate Suzuki lock, bro. What's good, Savages? Am I missing? What's good? Hey, W Trey, good. Good to see you, bro. Hell yeah. My boy AJ. What's up, J3 Watt? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Road to UFC is only available on UFC Fight Pass, bro. So you need Fight Pass to watch it. You don't got Fight Pass, you don't got a chance. You bet on Don. I feel like he's live to win, bro. Yo, big dog, I'm seeing a lot of overs. For my entertainment's sake, let's hope that there's some unders. Let's hope. Will I do over under leans? If there's any specific one that I like, sure. I'll bring it up. Dun, 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 dun. Right. All right. All right. I'm going to get ready for the show here. You cashed Apodaka 13-1. Amazing. Times the ceremonial weigh-in. Bro, I actually don't know. I don't even know if they're doing ceremonial weigh-ins. In Shanghai, they normally don't. Yeah, there won't be a ceremonial weigh-in. They'll do it like how they do the Apex. They'll just do the face-off. So I believe the weigh-ins are on at 11. See, weigh-ins. So road to UFC weigh-ins were last night. They got that. They don't even have the weigh-in schedule out yet. Yeah. So they haven't even created anything yet. So it shows the preview show at 11:30. So weigh-ins are probably going to be around that time. And then I'll do the video as soon as that finishes. And then I'll be back in the early hours of the morning. And I'll be running the savagery of what is the one, the only road to UFC. I'm actually kind of hyped for road to UFC. I did a full card prediction show for road to UFC. I have never done a road to UFC breakdown show before. This was the first ever. And I think it was a hit. I feel like the community really fucking enjoyed it. That's the vibe I got. Don't know. Dude, just betting dogs on the fucking contender series. That's how you get that ROI high, you know? Like Park would say. That's how you get that ROI up. Okay. So we are going to kick the show off here in a moment. We're going to throw up polls for every single fight. And, we'll try and come to some consensus for what could be valuable plays. money line attacks, if they're plus money, or if it's a real close line. But primarily, I want to focus upon getting the parlay slate rocking and rolling. And let's see what's what, man. We'll see what we can do. All right, I'm going to throw up poll number 1. And I'll also bring up the tail of the tape in a second. They call me Big J on business, bro. I am very on business today. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air today. I'm on business. All right. All right. All right. So we kick it off with our card opener between Ding Meng and Cam Nelson. I'm going to be picking the side of Ding Meng. Now, I am excited to see Cam Nelson weigh in on the scale and face off with Ding Meng. He's listed as 6 foot on some other websites, but we don't know until they go face to face really how tall he is. As far as this matchup here, I feel like Ding Meng has a good chance to go out and put on some good kickboxing. I really think Nelson is a little too raw, a little too untested, and it's just hard for me to predict a guy like that to win against somebody that has 45 pro fights and 28 knockouts. I really think that we should see a Ding Meng back on business type performance, a Ding Meng going out and putting it on the line and getting some damage in and potentially getting a stoppage as well of, a younger developing guy. That's the best way to say it, right? He's a young developing guy, but I think there's a lot of room to grow and I just don't love it. I don't know. So let's see with the UFC card here. All right. Let's check out what could be. Ding Meng, he's a minus 135 on the money line. Veteran versus prospect on the rise. 28 knockout wins. To not at least think, maybe Ding finishes. Now, let me tell you, they got knockout at plus 185, and then they got finish at plus 170. I'll put knockout, but if he did get a submission, you'd be kicking yourself very hard because not much worse on the prop if you just went for the finish side. Now, if you're on the side of Nelson, and this is a question I'm really aiming towards the chat, are you assuming Nelson to win in what method? What would be it for you? If you're on the Nelson side, chat, anybody in chat feeling that side, you like Ding decision, Xbox King Cam, I'll put that up for you. But I want to see Nelson. Are you thinking Nelson by sub if you're on that side? I think a Ding money line is not crazy. Definitely think he can go out and win money line. And then Nelson sub, let's see, plus 325. Let's see, what's fight goes distance? Fight goes distance is plus 120. Nelson is decent finisher, 5 finishes of his 7 wins. Under 2.5, you like? Okay. Okay. I respect the under 2.5 side. Nelson fought tomato cans, exactly. It's hard to trust Meng, though. He has a padded Mickey Mouse record, and he got KO'd by a 3-2 fighter on his 25th fight. It's a fair worry, but he did look okay in his debut. He's not awful. And Nelson only has 8 pro fights, so I do think there's a chance Meng Ding is up for it. 65% of the chat agrees with the Meng Ding side. Right. Canadian regional scene, not that good. I agree. I'm trusting the guy with more fights. Betting wise, you want to bet it? Do you want to not bet it? That's up to you. Did any of you guys check out my road to UFC picks? And if so, how many of you guys enjoyed the fuck out of that show? Was that not an absolute banger show? weigh-in recap for Road to UFC, doing it differently, bro. That was good shit. I think this could be a just money line it type of fight. I love Road to UFC too, bro. I gotta say, I'm stupid hyped to be live for the card tomorrow morning. I'm gonna get up nice and early. 4:30 a.m. Get on business. I gotta make my Road to UFC thumbnail tonight, actually. Forgot about that. I think Don's gonna look nice as well. Road to UFC thumbnail. I'll put the main event fighters in, and I'll put Rabindra Dant. I think that makes sense. Safe to say Meng has probably been knocked out more times than Nelson has W's. Well, if you mean as a professional, he's actually only been knocked out twice, opposite 28 KO wins. I would say durability, not an inherent weakness on the side of Meng Ding. He's actually known to be pretty tough. I like Ding, man. I'll go Ding to win. Feel like he should be able to outstrike the Canadian. Sorry, Braden K. I see you just popped in as I'm talking against the Canadian, but I do think the Canadian takes a loss here. It's a hard matchup to debut. So, Ding for the dub is my call. We'll let the poll run a little bit longer. I don't want this to be the longest PropAholics show ever, so I am going to try to keep a good pace. Adrian, hope you sweep this card and make the haters eat the words. Let's go, Braden K. Bro, how could people really hate on the content? They just have to be weasels. Like anybody that's fucking cool in life and has any bit of goodness to them loves the content. You know? Chat has just money line it, taking the cake in a big way. PropAholics starts off with a fucking money line. Hey, Braden, I appreciate you, bro. You're picking me over your countrymen. I respect that. I respect that. Clean sweep J in the morning would be fucking beautiful. I actually think there's a definite possibility of a sweep, man. Definitely. You going dog or pass or ding KO or decision? I respect the KO or decision play, Xbox King Cam. That's sensible because Ding's looking to put people out. Ooh, up next, we got the girls going at it. Compare the people that support you versus people that talk trash. Exactly, bro. The people that support are just golden gems to society. People that talk trash seem like fucking weirdos, bro. All right. We're going to get fight number 2 rolling. Jingnan Zhang versus Julia Polastri. I'm picking Polastri, but there is apprehension on this height thing, bro. 5'2" to 5'5". I need to see them face off. The worry is Zhang being a fair amount larger than her. Could that be a factor into this matchup? Julia Polastri is a decent prospect, but to be fair, she's still a 2-3 UFC fighter. And I worry about Xiong if, hey, maybe it was ring rust that kind of made her look really bad against Angela Hill, and she looks halfway decent here. Julia Polastri is no Angela Hill, so I do understand it. For real, it's been real. Love the content and breakdown. Shit's awesome. You do a great job. Hey, thank you, Andrew Cardfish. I'm bringing it, man. Cardish. I called you Cardfish. Cardfish would be a cool last name. I'm bringing it, man. I mean, I don't think anybody in the game really does it like me. Full UFC picks, full road to UFC picks, full contender series picks, full betting show, full fucking weigh-in show, and of course, full live stream for all of the events I talk about. So, yeah, man, definitely pretty hype. All right, I want to get some of the prop ideas. Some of the prop ideas. Hybrid Nation, I've been one away. I've swept the PFL. I've swept the BKFC even back in the day. I've swept contender series. So far with the UFC, I am one away from a clean sweep. But I'll be getting it soon. It's going to happen. Julia Polastri, Jingnan Zhang. I will give you guys an option on the votable poll as a dog or pass because I think Palastri's overpriced. I think she should be a minus 150 favorite, but she's like minus 230. You don't even sell picks, bro. I don't, man. I don't. I like to just give my info out to the people. You wouldn't call me a scammer if I sold picks. I appreciate that. The reason I never went towards the side of selling the bets and stuff is because I don't want to limit anything I can give away on the channel. I want to give all of my information. Now, I consider like, this week's best of May bets. It's a guide to what could be. Am I going to play every single bet? No, but I like a good amount of them, you know? So, you know the drill. Xiong money line, I like the value. I don't think it's a bad value dog. Xiong is okay. It's just I think Polastri has a lot of upside being younger. Being the more seasoned UFC fighter, Xiong has fought, mediocre competition. She beat Meng before the UFC. I think Bo is going to do pretty good this weekend on road to UFC or tomorrow. See what's what. See what's what. I feel you regardless. You do it best. I appreciate you, hybrid. It was the Abu Dhabi card. It was one away on the Dustin Jacoby. Got me on that card. I would have clean swept. Close, bro. For me, it was the Paris card with Cyril Gane back in the day versus Tuivasa. All right, dog or pass option. Decision for Polastri. Oh my god. I didn't realize it because I'll be honest, like this fight didn't catch my eye as far as the betting side much at all. Julia Polastri to win by a decision is minus 145. Jesus. But I do think Polastri should win a decision. What's fight goes distance here? Let's see. Minus 375. Terrible line. Damn. That's something, man. Prop options are limited on this fight. Fight going distance at minus 375 is hideous. Holy shit. Polastri calling for a finish in round 2 or 3. I'm not saying she won't try for it. I just don't feel great about her getting it. Polastri by KO is plus 1100, submission plus 850. Polastri finish plus 575. We'll put that in there. Polastri finish at plus 575, big odds. I'd say Polastri. You talking about Polastri's ground game? How is it? Or Xiong? I'd say Xiong's ground game is fine. I don't feel it's a standout grappling game. She's absolutely a striker, but it's not like bankrupt on the ground either. And then on the side of Polastri, I would never say she's bankrupt on the ground, but also like not amazing. It's one of those fights where I think Polastri does enough to win, very live to go distance. You could consider trying to attack a Polastri finish prop at 575 plus. So it's like, hey, man, I'm going to go for the degen side of it, but don't be surprised if it goes full distance. Road to UFC Shanghai predictions. Hey, JG8707. If you're looking for Road to UFC picks, click on the description of this video. You'll scroll down and you will see it. I have my full Road to UFC breakdown. Post weigh-in, I give out parlays, I give out picks, and I talk about my favorite fights on the card that, have the highest likelihood of hitting. Definitely some locks. I am frustrated that I don't have the option to bet on it on Hard Rock yet, because if I did, I will be betting fucking Suzuki finish all day. Lock that shit in with Mahashate. I had a dream last night, crazy enough, that Mahashate won. I was up really late. I was up to like 5:30 yesterday, and I finished the fucking weigh-in show mad late. And I absolutely was road to UFC minded as I fell asleep that I'm fucking dreaming about it. So I definitely like the chance of Mahashata. The breakdown, I go in depth about everything. I know he's on short notice, but Darius Flowers is just not that good. And Mahashata is good. It's just, he's young, 26, and he's had some bad performances, but I don't think that the guys that beat Mahashata, lose to Darius Flowers either, I wonder, can you round robin Polastri by finish? If you can do a finish instead of picking a method. Round robin finish option. Let me see. I think I have it on my book. So Julia Polastri. Well, it'd have to be a parlay. So if you want to go Polastri by finish, and what are you parlaying it up with for the round robin? You place a bet at 105 at cash. They still haven't settled my bet. Sick fucks. That's annoying. You think Levi Rodrigues Jr. the best dog to bet on the card? He definitely is live to win. I'd be careful with Ce Liu. I think the Ce Liu fight not to go to round 3 is potentially lock of the decade. It's minus 700, but it's very confident call. It seems like dog or pass in the slight lead. Now it's flipped the other way around. I'll leave the poll up for a few more seconds. Using it as a leg. What's the other legs though? Just give me the other leg so I can see if I can do it. Your parlay is Tsuruya 2+ takedowns, Tsuruya to win, Umar 2+ takedowns, paying plus 120. I think that's pretty live, Cameron. Ce Liu has the striking advantage for sure. I don't think Levi Rodrigues has the same level of technicality, but he hits hard, he's aggressive, and he's a big boy. But he's at a big height disadvantage. He's thicker, right? He's coming off the steroids, which I don't like. So I'm not going to pick Levi Rodrigues. I think he's a potential sell, and I would rather go the other side. You want me to just make up 4 of them? Okay, I'm just going to click 4 random lines. So if you went and you want a round robin would bring you finish. Yeah, it's available. Yeah, I can put finish here. Yeah, you can put finish. It's an option. Yeah, it's available. So you should be able to finish proper. Ce Liu does have the striking edge. The wonder, from my perspective, how's Rodriguez's offensive wrestling? What I've seen, I don't think that good. I really don't. I'm not impressed by Levi's game. Chad has decided dog or pass for the ladies fight. So seems like the community is feeling dog or pass, but Polastri decision close in second place. I want to keep moving up the card. All right. All right. All right. Next fight up, we have Lawrence Louis versus Hector Santiago. Lawrence Louis is the road to UFC winner. Very much an in-your-face pressure style. And he's taken on a former pro kickboxer who's 6-1 as a pro, who's got a good striking onslaught, who's got good technique. My worry is the side of Lawrence Louis. He's not that good at striking. I mean, his stand-up is really awkward. I picked him to win, but I almost picked Santiago. I won't lie to you guys. If you're looking at this from a betting perspective, Lawrence Louis is definitely live to wrestle fuck him. But Santiago, a former pro kickboxer, is plus 230. If he can defend some takedowns and get some striking going, I would rather lay a bet on Santiago at plus money as opposed to Louis at minus 280. The big element of fear I have for Santiago is he very well may be completely bankrupt on the ground. I know for a fact he's a better striker, but it's a fucking MMA fight. And if Louis is able to close the distance and wrestle hard, I think it's going to be really difficult for Santiago to deal with. Santiago trains with Kevin Villegas. Yeah, but so did fucking Perezula on, Contender Series, and he got knocked out in 30 seconds. I don't think training partners is something to too too heavily obsess about. I'll say one thing. If Santiago was training with an elite level wrestler, I'd actually take more positives away. Hector Santiago training with Andre Lima, and you're saying he's training with the side of Kevin Villegas, those are strikers. That's his strength. Those are not guys that have elite level wrestling threats. Lawrence Louie on the other side is a pressure grappler who trains at City Kickboxing. So he spars against really good kickboxers on the regular. And I feel as though he should be prepared to deal with a kickboxer that has maybe some grappling defense, but at what level? I have only seen it against bums. Whereas Lawrence Louie, I know, is not a complete scrub. He's in shape, he's physically strong, he's very much, looking to pressure you up against the cage and box dirty. He's got some power. I think Lawrence Louis a tough out for a guy in Santiago who's going to be smaller than he is and who's going to be at a disadvantage of wrestling and is a 33-year-old bantamweight prospect. So Lawrence Louis going to be the pick here. He's a 3-1 favorite. So I understand the dog or pass side. I don't think you're crazy for going for the underdog. Potentially, you could say, man, I'm going to go Santiago KO at plus 550. He's got knockout abilities. He's got 5 KO wins as a professional. His stand-up game is definitely legit, and Lawrence Louis' stand-up game is not very good. Lawrence Louis to go out and win how? Decision is 2-1. KO is plus 275. Submission plus 400. Really not great. I don't love it. I mean, Louis, he's never won a fight by submission, even though he's got a wrestling style. Santiago's sole loss is the submission. I guess I personally would stay away from Louis. Let's get some Manyan this weekend, fellas. AJ keeping it real like always. Finch loves Wang. Let's go, Louis boy. Thank you for 21 months of membership, man. You're a gangster. Big W, man. So what do you guys think? Prop options. Louis finish plus 130. Santiago KO. Is that plus 550? I mean, you got to think Louis might shoot for the sub, so that 4-1 sub could end up being it. Over 1.5 is minus 225. Fight to start round 2, minus 375. I really don't like it that much. It's definitely live to go over 1.5, though. But just recognize, you're dealing with young talent. Over 1.5 is minus 225. I'll put it as an option to vote on, regardless of a bad line. It's one of those cards, it's a minus money night. Like you might be up plus money, but you're gonna have to bet on some minus money. You're not gonna find all plus money. I mean, bro, the lock section, because I always look for a plus money lock for the sake of the show, which what's crazy, chat? I think people still seldom understand that the plus money lock section is me looking for a plus money bet more than anything else, as opposed to like the most confident pick on the card. People say, bro, how could that be your lock? Every time I see it every fucking week, I'm like, I think y'all struggle to understand. It's a plus money lock in. It's not the fucking most confident call. I think to myself, I'm like, am I going to have to fucking start adding like a safety play of the week that is like a more minus money lock or something like that for people? I don't know, man. Just some thoughts I have. Dun, 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 dun. Fuck the guys hating the plus money play. You lock a minus 400, they cry. You play a dog, they cry. Exactly. I understand, my guy. No, I know you do, Cameron. I know y'all do, bro. AJ have to make me a sub 85 IQ. Fair point. Like you guys that are, mentally there get what's going on, but there is a percentage every week that fucking like is confused. I'm like, I say it during the show. You guys know the rule of this section. I look for the plus money. It's like it goes over people's heads. I don't know. I really I struggle to understand. But the real ones know what's what. I will say though, I was thinking to myself, what is like a safety play this week? I feel like you could go Nurmagomedov to win over 2.5 rounds. I think that's live. Another one I think that's pretty live is a safety play would be Lima. Batbayar starts round 2 at minus 260. Hey, if they hating or complaining, we tell them put their skirts down, respect the goat. Let's go, Junior Mafia. Lock of the week last week should have been Markel, Moneyline, Medeiros. True. True. Dude, the trash can parlay. I got to bring a trash can parlay back. I just, I don't like to call decent fighters trash. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't do the trash can parlay every week. No reason to be confused. It's straightforward. Don't stress it. I appreciate you. W. Ricardo. Thank you. Thank you to the mad lads that understand what's what. Plus money playing a trash odds parlay. I'm going to have to do a trash odds parlay. Hey, W. Skylar Cleary. I appreciate you. Ooh, 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 the absolute odds parlay. If odds didn't matter and you don't care about odds, Bilal Hasan, lock. Umar Nurmagomedov, lock. Boom, 2 leg. I'll be shocked if either lose. Or Bilal Hasan, lock. Fucking, the side of Asakura, lock. Something like that. 40% of the chat liking this dogger pass, yo. 40% of the chat is on that dogger pass thunder. My God. They're saying, fuck Lawrence Louis. Respect. Dude, if Bilal Hassan loses, I'll be shocked. A complete setup fight. Nilson Rojas is tough, but I don't think he's up for it. Lock Sumudaerji? Absolutely. Absolutely. Sumudaerji should absolutely win. All right. Let me get ready for the next fight. All right. Next fight up the card. This one is fun. And they changed the bout order on me. So we'll go my bout order. I'm going the Big J bout order. Jack Jenkins versus Sean Woodson. I'm going with Sean Woodson. I think he probably wins maybe a 3rd round TKO or a decision. I feel like his striking is going to be pretty up for it here. I like the chance of Woodson winning. I sent the Woodson line in the Discord early in the week. I was like, man, I think he's going to pull through. And I was surprised. A lot of you guys actually really like Jack Jenkins. But man, Sean Woodson is 6'2" with a 78-inch reach. He's a good boxer. Okay, the performance fell apart against, Dan Ige, but it was also an early stoppage. That was Dan Ige right after giving Lerone Murphy a nightmare fight. Jack Jenkins on the other side coming off a decision win against Ramon Tavares. I think Sean Woodson is technically outstriking him, taking this decision. Boxing from range, stinging from the outside. Jenkins going to be kicking hard. Woodson going to be countering hard. And I like Woodson to win. Moneyline is a great bet. At minus 145 for me. I'm genuinely surprised that people like Jenkins as a dog. Like, understand a 10-inch reach disparity and this massive height disparity. kind of extreme to overcome where the odds for Jack Jenkins, I think they should be like plus 200. Like, I think Jack Jenkins should be a larger underdog. Like, if he was plus 250, I'd see why people want to take a stab. But why? He's plus one fucking 25. I don't get it. I don't feel that he's going to win. And I think Sean Woodson's going to work him from range. I think Woodson is a nightmare matchup, dude. Jack Jenkins is a tank. Absolutely. I think it's a tough fight. I think we're going over a round and a half. I think we're going to see Woodson decision or late stoppage. This is the one that so many are on opposite sides. This will show who's the GOAT for this week's picks. I'm on Woodson too. Let's go premium picks. Woodson gang. I think this is definitely a just money line it fight. Woodson to win over 1.5 is plus 100. For the sake of the lock section, I locked the over 1.5 with Woodson. I was like, you know what? We got to get that plus. But the money line at minus 145 caught my eye. I thought Woodson would be a little bit of a larger favorite. And Woodson, more of a decision merchant than anything else. I know his last win is a KO, but, he cooked Padilla pretty bad. Bum, 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 bum. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, for those that watch this week's best of MMA bets, um, I bet down the money line of Woodson way more than the plus 100 over 1.5. That was more of like I have to call it for the sake of the show concept, but Woodson at minus 145, it's a good bet, I think. The knockout versus Ige gonna affect him. I mean, it was an early stoppage. He's been off for a while. I think he'll be back on business, man. All right. I mean, he's been out for a bit, but I'm not too worried, bro. I actually really like this fight for Woodson. I think he's gonna be all right. I think it's a Sean Woodson. Oh, y'all must have forgot. Like he's actually got some game type performance. That's my expectation here. Sean Woodson with the oh shit, y'all forgot he's got game. So for me, a money line bet that's in the favorite status that I like this week. Woodson, I bet on him on Sunday. I thought the lines would get wider. They actually haven't. Lines have stayed the same. I got in on Woodson minus 145. So I threw pretty good amount down on him. Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. So we'll ride with the side of Woodson to showcase. I think that's what's what. Everyone's afraid this week. Lines ain't moving. I'm not afraid. I'm excited. Where do we join the members Discord? There is a link in the membership tab. If you're a member, you'll be able to join it. Hasn't Jack Jenkins broke 3 legs with calf kicks? Is that a rumor? I remember hearing that. Whether rumor or not, he's a heavy kicker. But, you know, Louis Sutherland broke Walter Walker's leg with a leg kick, and look how bad he's done. So I don't know, man. I'm not crazy about it. Woodson chinny though, but Jack Jenkins isn't really a puncher, man. I feel like Jack Jenkins' hands are not all that. I mean, let's look at his UFC fights and keep it serious. Don Shannis decision, Jamal Emmers decision, which is kind of nice. Herbert Burns TKO took him to round 3 though. Ramon Tavares decision. Sean Woodson, he does have a KO loss in round 3 to Danny in a weird fight. I think Sean Woodson's a problem. You think Woodson gets destroyed by leg kicks, but bro, you have to understand from a striking range, right? I want to just bring my reasoning from a technical standpoint onto why I think that's an inefficient style. If I'm fighting somebody that's 7 inches taller that has a 10-inch reach advantage on me, I am throwing from kicking range, attacking that fucking calf, right? I'm kicking hard. As I'm throwing these kicks from the outside, I'm available to be punched in the face when somebody has that long of reach. You know, if you have the range advantage, let's say Sean Woodson was the calf kicker. Yeah, from distance, he can kick at the legs all night of Jack Jenkins. But on the flip side, punching range for Sean Woodson is Jack Jenkins' kicking range. So essentially, every area where the strikes for Jack Jenkins are available, he is susceptible to being cracked by Sean Woodson. So remember the ranges of striking, right? You have the green, you have the yellow, you have the red. Let's say a distance leg kick would be green zone, but it could even be yellow in some cases, right? In this case, it's absolutely fucking near red because of the reach. So just recognize Sean Woodson could potentially land a fucking lead check hook as there's a leg kick from the side of Jack Jenkins. So the thought process here that I have is Sean Woodson's reach is such a substantial strength in this fight that not betting him would almost be going against the combat logic of striking. Okay. So that is my mentality. And that is why my safer lock, I said it, is the money line. The over 1.5 for the sake of the show, but you guys get it truthfully. I would go hard on the money line. And yeah, I'd touch, you want to touch a little plus 100. But like, in all honesty, outside of for the concept of the show being a plus money lock, it's not necessarily worth it to even try and chase the extra oomph when you can bet it at minus 145 and not worry about if he wins by first round knockout. So, yeah, sure. Sake of the show. Yeah, this week's best one Maybets. We got to have a good time. It's got to be plus money. I wanted to do Woodson. I said, fuck it. I'll go over 1.5 because I didn't feel like putting somebody else in a parlay with him. And I didn't want to lock something else. But recognize if we're not just fucking playing that game of plus money for entertainment value in some sense, Woodson money line is an intelligent bet, is a lock bet. It's the safe lock of the week for me. The plus money lock, we'll take him over 1.5. But the real lock of it all, and when I say lock, doesn't mean there's no chance, but matchup wise, likelihood of success to a line that catches my eye, Sean Woodson money line. So you guys on this show get my, more honest and in-depth take of why I have Sean Woodson and fuck the damn odds. You know what I'm saying? It's just a pick that's going to hit, bruh. So Woodson to win money line is the safe play lock. And then if you like the plus money lock and you want to do the same game parlay, add the over 1.5. I see Cash God. He said Woodson, Sumudaerji. I absolutely think that's a good 2-leg play as well. So there we go. That's why you guys watch PropAholics, dog. So you can hear everything. You know what I'm saying? You can hear it all. You can listen to everything. You can listen to every bit. That's funny, Reggie. He's a groupie, man. That's funny as shit. Hey, all good, man. He was just, being pessimistic, bro. We had to send them out. You play my top 5 in Woodson, 4.5 to 1. Rangy, I think we're due for the fucking sweep, bro. I think we're due for the sweep. Right. Just money line it at 51%. And the people do like Woodson over 1.5 at plus 100. I do think the plus money lock should also hit alongside of the safer money line Woodson play. So definitely a bet I am very excited about. And looks pretty good to me. All right. Let's get to the next fight. Let's get to the next one. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Joseph Sasso. That's what the people will say if things go awry on any of the fucking picks, man. Whether it's a lock or not, that's just how it goes. But it's okay, man. When you got your nuts and you ride with it, you have to be, willing to put yourself into positions where you're susceptible to criticism. Zhao Long, Francesco Nuzzi. I'm going to pick Zhao Long. I think he outworks Nuzzi. Either later stage sub, maybe a decision. Nuzzi's striking is pretty good, though. I have to say, I like Nuzzi's kickboxing. I like Nuzzi's speed. Like, there's things to like about Nuzzi on the feet. He is clean, and he's fucking Italian, bro. For God's sake, the one Italian in the UFC. I just have apprehension. Listed at 5'3". I've seen him listed at 5'6". I don't know how tall this fucking guy is. I got to see when the cage door closes. Zhao Long is just annoying to fight because he's in your face at all times. He's got a good chin. He can wrestle well, and he's strong as fuck. So for me, I think Zhao Long takes it in a more drawn out fight against Nuzzi and probably looks to wrestle him up. But Nuzzi is the one Italian. So, like, if I'm going to miss any pick, I would love to see the side of Nuzzi get the upset. What if Long sucks? I mean, he kind of does. You have people work if you age it? LOL. Are these the snipers? How does that work? That's funny as fuck, hibernation. Nah, nobody working for me. Just the good mods in the chat supporting the gang. Nuzzi, the Italian dream. So I left Xiao Long out of any of the confident plays, even though on paper it's looking like a fight he should win. I'm going to pick him to win. I do think that these two are live to push it into the second round. Xiao Long and Nuzzi, I'm curious what this line is. Fight starts round 2 is terrible, minus 525. Xiao Long to win over 1.5, minus 150. If it was plus money, I'd maybe consider. Money line is minus 180, which is pretty nice. Actually, Xiao Long to win over 1.5, same game parlay is plus 100. What the fuck? Same game parlay is better than just playing it over 1.5 win. That's so weird. It's like a glitch I see on Hard Rock sometimes, you know? So Long to win over 1.5 plus 100. Dog or pass sitting at plus 145. Nuzzi to win by knockout. What is that? Plus 550. How many subs does Nuzzi have as a pro? 3 subs, 5 KOs. Long on the other side, never been submitted with 3 knockout losses. Club and sub, always a possibility. And I'll say Nuzzi finish as an option at plus 350. Mainly because, how annoying is it when you play a specific prop and then it gets cooked by the other finishing method of victory, Hey, Andrew Carfish, enjoy some Rocket League, my bro. Value on Nuzzi, I'm going to watch some tape and get back to you. Hey, W Cash God. Long is a little better than mid. Nuzzi doesn't have experience. UFC owes Long a win, but they brought in Nuzzi. We'll see what's what, man. Nuzzi, he got cooked on the ground pretty bad against Ramirez, and I don't necessarily love that. Long having 9 wins by submission makes me think Long by sub at plus 475. It's definitely at the very least something to consider if you're feeling maybe throwing down on a method of victory and you like the chances of Long winning. Now, Xiao is 82% of the chat pick. Nuzzi, PFL washout, unfortunately, but has some striking on him. I'll say that. What I watch of Nuzzi, I say, you know what? This dude's fast. This dude's good on the feet. It's just I don't feel great about his strike defense, his durability, his grappling. So Long by sub, definitely a potential outcome to, at the very least, think about. And then, there's some other options to vote on. Whatever feels best for you. Long decision, definitely possible. If you think Long's going to win by decision, you could attack the Long to win by decision plus 175. But I like the idea of the plus 100 instead. The reason I like the plus 100 Long over 1.5, because you could also sprinkle prop the sub on the what if, versus like you have decision and sub. You're kind of just in a hedge zone. Over 1.5 could hit, and he could end up getting the sub in round 2, round 3. So, yeah, Nuzzi did beat Sopai by a split decision years ago, but it's a long time ago. And Sopai is a very young fighter. You like Nuzzi decision, no action? Honestly, it's not a terrible idea. Long decision only is minus 210. 5'6", 69-inch reach for Nuzzi is short. That's the only knock on him. And he's at a reach disadvantage. But he uses his legs, so he's a good kicker. Nuzzi could upset? I think so. Nuzzi's live for it. You know who picked Nuzzi? My brother did. He likes Nuzzi's chances. So we'll see what's what, man. The Italian in China making waves? Never say never. But I am staying with Long. Long is 5'5". Long listed at 5'8". Yeah, China doesn't show favoritism. That's why they always go back. I appreciate that about the Chinese judges, man. I appreciate that a lot, actually. It seems like the consensus is leaning towards Long over 1.5. Tapology, 93% on Nuzzi. On my Tapology, is the complete opposite, bro. 77% is on Xiao Long. He's a pretty lopsided pick for Tapology. 93%? Wait, which Tapology? Ronnie from Jersey Shore would have been the first Italian UFC champ if he trained MMA. Can you imagine he would have done MMA? Would have been huge. Would have been a huge deal. All right, we got 2 prelim fights left, both of which take place in the flyweight division. Both of which are fights that kind of excited for. All right. Let's get the poll running and let's keep moving. Next fight up, we have Ray Tsuruya versus Kevin Borjas. I think that Ray Tsuruya is extremely good at grappling, to the point where overlooking that is a problem. His ground game should be a pretty substantial edge over Kevin Borjas. Now, Borjas is a quality kickboxer with good punching power and danger on the feet, right? Like if he's striking, his straight shots are good, his lead left hook is good, even his leg kicks are nice. The problem is this is by far the best jiu-jitsu practitioner he's fought by just an incomparable mile. I mean, in his UFC career, outside of this, the best grappler that he probably fought was Emmanuel Rodrigues, who's more of a boxer wrestler. And, obviously he was knocked out in a fight that he did land a knockdown early. Now, Ronaldo Rodriguez, I guess, kind of good on the ground. Victor Diaz on Contender Series. He was a big dog. I picked him as a dog there. Diaz, though, just not that good. Ray Tsuruya is a fucking maestro at grappling. I mean, his ground game is fucking crazy. And I really got to say, I enjoy the grappling skill from Ray Tsuruya. And I think it puts Borjas in a very compromised position, guys. So I think Ray Tsuruya on the ground is going to shine. Now, Ray Tsuruya is a submission ace, but I do think you have to remember something about Ray Tsuruya. He has 4 knockouts as well. So being in top position, he's not afraid to throw some big shots and ground and pound. Those 4 knockout wins are ground and pound finishes by KO. If he's in a dominant spot and Borjas doesn't give up a neck, there could be just monstrous shots from top that Tsuruya shows, different level when it comes to ground and pound. So something at the very least worth mentioning. Regardless of that mention, my thought process into this matchup comes down to the fact that I think Ray Tsuruya's jiu-jitsu is the ultimate difference maker. At plus 120 for a Tsuruya submission, I actually don't think it should be plus money, and I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it at plus 120. I think that's awesome. We get plus money for it. But if I was to line that shit up, I would have it at minus money. I think that the finish for Tsuruya being minus 155 makes sense because of the ground and pound threat. Definitely something you could run towards if you're like, you know what? I'm just going to go Tsuruya by finish. I don't even want to take the chance. Maybe he ground and pounds him, minus 155. I just think submission should also be like minus 110. Like, I really am surprised to see that we even got plus money there. I don't think it makes sense. So at the very least, um, yeah, that's weird to see plus money for a guy that good at jiu-jitsu against someone whose game is striking and he fights a lot of strikers, but never submitted in the UFC. So I think that is probably why. But come on, bro. Ray Tsuruya, even his ground and pound finish to win the road to UFC finale, he had a twister first. So something worth mentioning, man. And I think Tsuruya is gonna go out and show out in this spot. 37% takedown rate. Yeah, but that stat is skewed because of his Joshua Van fight, though. Because of that Joshua Van fight. That is why it is skewed to that degree. Is that Joshua Van fight. Just something to mention. That's why. Now, under 1.5 rounds, plus 125. So if you went Tsuruya by sub, under 1.5, plus 220, not necessarily worth it. Let's see. Tsuruya to win in round number 1, plus 210. Round number 2, plus 400. Let's see. Alternate round betting grouped. Round 1 and 2, Tsuruya is minus 110. Probably round 1 or 2, but at that point, you got finish at minus 155. It's not worth it. Tsuruya to win by submission round 1 is plus 300. If it was a ground and pound KO, it's plus 1,000. What round are you thinking, Ray sub? I think between round 1, round 2. Think I know it's a flyweight fight, but it's very live to end in the first round. So Ray Tsuruya to win in round 1, but it's only plus 110. I don't love it. Fight to reach round 2, no, is plus 195. So, you know, obviously I don't think Borjas knocks him out, but just saying. Fight to reach round 2 is plus 195. Fight to reach round 3, no, is minus 120. I think we're going to see a stoppage. I love you, Mr. Experts. Hey, love you too, Cornslayer. So let's see. Borjas value. So you like dog or pass? I'll put it down for you. Anything else you guys like here? I got 3 options of votes so far. 3 votable options. Might just leave it at 3. Under 2.5, minus 145. I'll put it in there for you. Actually, let me check what fight goes distances. Minus 180. And see why you go under 2.5. Enough of a differential. Takedown props to the way to the bank. I think that's smart. All right. So, Tsuruya to win is an obvious pick for the chat. Tsuruya by sub, a plus money call. Tsuruya by finish feels rather likely. A dog or pass situation, you're feeling value on the underdog. And an under 2.5, probably. Tsuruya round 1 or 2, I like that. It's minus 110 for that. You confuse Tyra and Tsuruya, Braden K. It's crazy. You think all the value's been drained? You going dog or pass? Respect. Respect. He sped you, my brother. I respect it. The road to UFC. Pretty dope. Road to UFC video is popping, bro. Almost fucking 9,000 views on it. That's crazy. Holy shit. On Topology, 75% of the picks on Fukada on Road to UFC opposite of your Bo Meng pick. That's interesting, especially seeing she's still an underdog. I think betting market is against Fukuda, but fans are picking her. Hey, what's good, Lost God Soul? Where are people betting Road to UFC? I am hoping they come on Hard Rock. As of right now, bet online. When is Road to UFC? Road to UFC is tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. So a little bit under 12 hours from now. I will be live for the entire Road to UFC card. I'll be giving you guys my live reaction to all the savagery that's going to be going down. Very excited for it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Road to UFC should be a damn good time. Oh my God, I can't believe I found it live. A W to the live team money liner. The UFC card is at 3 a.m. Saturday morning. Road to UFC, 5 a.m. Friday morning. Stupid hype for it, bro. I got to say, man, I'm pretty pumped for Road to UFC. I feel like this year I've become even a more hardcore fan. Like the Road to UFC, I'm like, bro, I can't miss this shit. I can't miss Road to UFC. You kidding me? Yeah, there are UFC fights on it. Tristan Vines is fighting Yilizati. And the other one is main event, Darius Flowers, Mashate. Hey, what's up, Cameron Hobdell? Good to see you. Easily best fight companion out there. Makes it exciting as fuck. Thanks, bro. I've been supporting this channel longer than all you guys. Put me in a timeout. It's disgraceful. Russ Cole, it's because you talk crazy sometimes, man. The chat's like, all right, you got to pipe down a little bit. They don't hate you, bro. They just put you in the corner and they let you come back, you know? No Ming Shi, not this time, no. I got to tell you guys, I think my favorite events may be the China cards. Am I a nerd for that? Like, I really fucking love the China cards. I love the foreign cards, bro. Like, there's a different broadcast feel to it that I really enjoy, man. Shout out Nepal. Let's go, Don. Hey, let's go, Liam. Don's got this shit. I think Don's going to show up in a big way. I don't know when Lil Bro J is going to drop his video, but he actually has an exclusive style for this week. He's doing a UFC Shanghai and Road to UFC combined betting video. So in a little while, he will have it up. If he finishes it and uploads it before I finish here, I will absolutely link you guys up with it. If not, definitely at the end of the video, though, I'm going to link up his channel and tell you guys to check it out. Lil Bro J is going deep with his picks this week, dropping confident picks for Road to UFC, confident bets and stuff, and the UFC. So something to know. He's got a cool concept for his show that he's trying this week. And I'm excited to witness it myself, man. Lil Bro J's video's been moving, man. I don't know if you guys have seen. All right, all right. Axel Sola Ziam, but like Ziam is probably way too experienced. Next fight up, Namsrai Batbayar versus André Lima. I'm a fan of Namsrai Batbayar's style because it's just the definition of violence. But I think André Lima is too crafty, man. I can't pick off of a fan-friendly style because that's exactly what Batbayar is. He's a violent finisher. But I think that Andre Lima's technicality with his Muay Thai poses problems to Batbayar from distance. I think Andre Lima's grappling is live in this fight to work. Batbayar hits hard and he throws fucking bombs, but He's at a disadvantage in height, 3 inches, which is not huge though, because the reach is actually about the same. So Namstry not gonna be too worked from the outside. But where I worry for him is getting caught up in a Muay Thai style fight with Andre Lima and him having a hard time closing the distance, man. I really do feel like um Andre Lima should probably win by decision. Think he takes it in a longer fight, but I don't think Batbayar is a terrible underdog. Like, if you are like, man, I know what you're saying about Lima, but like, what if Batbayar? There's a path. It's just Batbayar lacks that, elite caliber experience. Not that Andre Lima has the most elite experience, but he's been in the UFC a while and he's pretty well rounded. He did have a terrible fight against Borjas, but he was out for like a year before that. So I think there is an element to that could have swayed the lack of aggression. But Lima is for sure a bit of a tapper. He's a bit of a tapper. He's a bit of a, you know, point fighter. And he's taking on a guy who's much more killer instinct. With that, I have no interest in betting Andre Lima. I have not bet Batbayar either, but I do think that there is actually a pretty crafty parlay piece. Regardless of my enjoyment of Batbayar's aggressive style and the fact that he does have 6 first-round finishes, Andre Lima has not been finished as a pro. Andre Lima has not shown durability woes or deficiencies on the ground. I don't think he's getting knocked out. He's actually, a slow starter. So with that, I think he's going to probably try and stick and move on Batbayar. The fight to start round two blew my mind. Fight to start round two between flyweights is minus 260. Minus 260 for a fight to start round two. Now, of course, like, what? I can't bet that straight. No, it's not a straight betting play. It would be something to add to a parlay. I'm like, that fight starting round two feels almost certain to me. I don't think Batbayar is knocked out in the first round. I don't think Lima's knocked out in the first round. I don't think there's a submission in the first round. You know? Confusing. 11-1 versus Hugh. Fair point. Batbayar is going to want to make it fucking ugly, dirty, dogfight style. Because that's what Batbayar is, the dogfight style. And I love it. How could you not? How could you not fucking love it? Batbayar is awesome to watch. As a fan, I'll tell you guys straight up, Batbayar winning, better for the sport. We need a crazy Mongolian savage to make some shit happen in the UFC. Batbayar is a plus 210 underdog. So I do think there is a dog or pass situation. Um, if you think Lima wins, he's probably taking it later. So if you did Lima to win and fight to start round two, minus 120, it's not terrible. Like, if you're picking Lima, you got to think fight starts round two. I don't think he gets it early. Minus 120 for that. What else we got? Do you guys like anything else? Over 1.5, minus 155. Batbayar finish plus 375. Batbayar KO plus 600. Sub is plus 9. Does have 5 subs, 5 KOs. Lima by decision, if you're feeling that side, plus 275. So that's actually pretty good. I think Lima decision plus 275. It's the unfortunate truth in this matchup where I'm separating fandom because I fuck with Batbayar a lot. He's the type of style that sells. He's the type of style that, is the reason the UFC is popular because he is looking to kill people at all times. It's just Lima probably is a little too much too soon. But I'll be honest, I'd be fine with missing on this pick. My lock on this one would be fight starts round two. Borjas is elite. You'll see on Saturday. I'm excited to see Ikize. I'm excited to see what's what. I do think fight to start round 2 is making all the sense here. So I'm going to throw up the poll, and you guys can vote on the prop that catches your eye. Depends on your mentality. If you're looking for more of a parlay piece prop, maybe you're going to fight starts round 2, or maybe you just want to money line it, dog or pass it. Maybe you like a little same game parlay with Lima, or maybe even Lima by a decision. So let's see what's what. I heart you, bro, but I can tell when you like a fighter and when it's just your honest pick. I appreciate that, Xbox King Cam. Is that you're saying with it with this fight? I mean, it's an honest pick. That's a fucking bold take, Giofolco. I don't know anything about that. The mods will have to fucking give me insight on that if it's true. I've never heard that, bro. That's a fucking bold stance to take against them, man. The Italian flag coming in heavy in chat. I see you, Carlo Riccio. Lima finish? Maybe. Maybe. Whoa, 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 whoa. What makes him a bad guy, though? Batbayar can finish early. I don't think he stops him early. Batman finish, inshallah. Jesus Christ. Might get better odds than Lima if you live bet after round 1. Batbayar is live to have a good first. Definitely. We do need redemption. I agree with you, Aiden Naz. Redemption on my mind, yeah. I'm picking Lima to win. But, I mean, the fan side of me, bro, Batbayar winning would be sick. Batbayar winning would be sick. That would be amazing. Batbayar. Nemsrai Batbayar. You like Nuzzi by decision? Hey, respect on it, bro. He's an Italian savage. All right. We're almost at our main card. I mean, we pretty much are. I'm about to start the main card talk now. Oh, shit. I'm rock with you, bro. Win or lose. Let's go, Aiden Nass. See, that's real support, bro. You know, I put it on the line every week, every fight, bro. You know, your favorite fighters put it on the line every time they step into the motherfucking octagon. I put it on the line every time I make a pick, and I'm here live to fucking deal with the highs of the massive dubs, the lows of the tricky else, you know? Xbox King Cam. Definitely other sports paying better is a factor, yeah. Next fight up starts the main card off with the flyweight intentional setup for Bilal Hasan. Let's call a spade a spade. Bilal Hasan is expected to show out, and he should absolutely show out. Nilson Rojas is good. You know, he's 9-0, same as Bilal Hasan, but level of opposition worrisome. You know what I'm saying? The level of fight worrisome versus Bilal Hasan looks pretty capable, being a contender series winner, being a CFFC champ with multiple title defenses. Nilson Rojas coming off a win against a 4-0 fighter last time. But, you know, Before that, it was a 6-9 journeyman. Yeah, he knocked him out, but still, the level's a little different. Hasn't taken on the best of the best. Now, he does have the Kevin Borjas decision loss in 2018. So I guess you could say the one element of him, fighting his training partner back then. And sure, hey, man, he went to a decision with him. He didn't get knocked out. He beat Kevin Borjas once as an amateur. So I guess there are things to like and respect, but I just don't trust in him. I don't. I don't think against Bilal Hasan. Come on now. Hey, good job, Blind Muck. Thanks for tuning in. YouTube feature is beautiful. I think Bilal Hasan is a real skillful guy. And I think he's a lock to win on this card. I'm not going to overthink it. I mean, yeah, the money line is very wide at minus 750. So there's not much you can do. Bilal Hasan by KO is minus 140. Finish is minus 170. I have to tell you guys, I like Bilal Hasan by finish, even though I think most likely it's a KO. Bilal Hasan is not bankrupt on the ground. And what if he decides to show us a well versed game and you got everything on him going out and winning by knockout? When, for 40 more points in the negative direction at a minus 140 to minus 170, or 30 more points, I should say, even less, you can stay a little safer with a soundbite finish. A guy who's absolutely a finisher, has not won a decision since his MMA debut, has been on fire with 7 knockouts and 1 submission. His striking is the strong suit of it all, and the striking threat definitely live to, cause big problems to Rojas. But Rojas got hands, bro. Rojas a boxer. This is giving me Wellmaker Diaz feels. See, I don't think the same. Diaz, at the very least, had that contender series win, right? Diaz proved it at a high level. We haven't seen proven at a high level for the side of Rojas, so I can't trust in that. I'm gonna go towards, maybe you'll call it the industry plant at this point, but a guy that just easily won on contender series. I think he should win here too. Rojas looks like he could be a tough out. Definitely a skillful guy. I wouldn't be shocked if we see grappling from the side of Hasan. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, oh shit, he can grapple too. So, not saying he's going to win by submission, but sub is plus 1,000. So, Hasan sub at plus 1,000. If you're betting the knockout or the finish, like you may as well hedge with the sub on the off chance. Decision plus 250. I think he sticks with his finishing ways, I have to say. Um, Round picking it. Let's see. Bilal Hasan to win round 1 plus 220, round 2 plus 350, round 3 plus 550. I feel like he wins between round 2 or 3. Thinking of round 2 KO, to be fair. What's fight starts round 2? Minus 260. I don't know. That's scary, bro. It's the same line as Lima and Batbayar, which I feel is a lot more live to start that round 2. And let's just see if it all goes to plan. Bilal Hasan by first round knockout, it's plus 260. That would be it all going perfectly to plan. Very rarely do these fights go perfectly to plan. What's over 1.5 at? Minus 150? I don't love that. Ross Kid is a dog. I think he could make it to round 2. I like potential a round 2 finish for the side of Hasan. Plus 350 though. Even though I like knockout, I don't know. I'm not feeling it as much. Treston Vines line got hammered. Bro, people liking to bet on Treston Vines. Like, I think, I don't want to say it's delusional, but like, why the fuck am I trusting in Treston Vines? Yeah, Yilazati's unproven, but he's a 6'4" kickboxer, bro, with power. And Treston Vines has been knocked out 4 times. He might win, but I don't. I don't feel it, bro. I think the good picks on that card, like smart play, Mahashate should win. Um, Suzuki should win. Mangas probably wins. Even ladies fight. You know, you have Abdueva who probably wins. Hasan is 71% of the chat votes. Wow. Holy shit. All right. All right. Let me see something here. Fight doesn't start round 3 with Bilal Hasan to win a finish. KO plus 115. Not really worth it. Not really worth it. Just a throw 3. Marshata, I know he's kind of mid, but to be fair, it's Darius Flowers. And also, to be fair, Marshata's 26. So it's like he got to the UFC at 21. I think it was way too early. I think Marshata definitely be better now. And it's Darius Flowers, man. You think Flowers finish a good spot? I don't see any props. I don't know, man. I have a hard time trusting in Flowers, watching him fight. I'm like, oof. Manshata's probably going to beat him. I'll pick Manshata. If somehow Flowers pulls it off, respect to him winning, man. Hasan sub has good value against a boxer and Rojas. How's Rojas' ground game? So Rojas's ground game on paper, we don't know much about. He has 0 wins by submission. So remains to be seen. And he hasn't fought at a high level. So you never know. Road to UFC never has props. I don't think they do, unfortunately. I wish they did. It'd be awesome if they did. Also, chat, we're almost an hour and a half into the show. I want to ask you guys, if you're enjoying the PropAholics early hours showcase, make sure you guys smash the like button for me. So, yeah, run those likes up. Run those likes up. Yeah. Run those likes up. Yeah. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Son decision plus 200. Respect if you're going distance, man. Rojas is up for the test. Let's see what's what. Let's see what's what. Hard working, Jay. Let's go, Sherm. You know what it is, bro. I got a very busy fucking next 12 hours. I have weigh-in show. I have freaking fight companion. So lots of work incoming for your boy. I figured now is the time to do the show. All right. Let's keep going. Hasan made it to the 4th round one time. A couple fights ago. All right, all right. And let's keep on running up the card, man. Next matchup is Levi Rodrigues and Ce Liu. I'm going to go with Ce Liu. I'm going to trust in the 6'5" pro kickboxer against the fellow striker. Levi Rodrigues coming off of a 2nd round TKO ground and pound loss to Felipe Franco. He did land a pretty hard shot in round 1, and he definitely has power, but he's a little clunky, man. I don't love his technique. I feel like dealing with a pro kickboxer, he's live to get clobbered by, more efficient strikes that come from just a technically superior striker. And then the problem I have with Levi Rodrigues is he's never really shown a ground game. So the threat of grappling doesn't feel imminent. Now, Ce Louis does have a loss. He got wrestled by a Russian and ground and pounded, but he did stop some takedowns in round number one. So I think Ce Louis defensively should be okay in the grappling. And then striking wise, he should be a lot better. I think at 6'5", I feel like he's a problem for Levi Rodrigues. So I'm going to assume that Say Louis gives him a technical striking lesson, and the side of Levi Rodrigues probably coming up short. That's kind of the thought process with this matchup, man. I think he's going to end up coming up a bit short. That's where my head is at with this spot. Let's see what's what though. Bellamere, she lost, never looked into the fight, didn't care. There was no value, but after looking at it, Bella Merchant fought an MMA fight. Bella only fought one in 4 years. True. But she was doing so much grappling that like the expectation was a disgusting level difference. Rodriguez before the Franco fight, he got off steroids. That's why I picked underdog Felipe Franco against Levi Rodriguez because I have doubts about him. He was on anabolic steroids. He tested positive for nandrolone, was suspended, and now is back off of the juice. So there is a little bit of worry on that side of it too. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I just think the K1 kickboxer and Say Louis could probably show a different ability in stand up than more of a lower tier brawler in Levi Rodriguez. That's the thought process that I have. Feel like you gotta lean towards the guy that has the superior technique, though there is punching power. There is knockout threat. There is chaos with Levi Rodriguez. I just don't feel that good about picking him. I'm not gonna pick him, but I understand why some people would. I understand why the thought process would be, well, what if though? Hey man, could he pull it off? I mean, he's got the UFC fight. The other one doesn't. He's on short notice, but it's a matchup where it's gonna be a lot of strike and he likes to strike. I don't know, man. I'm gonna trust in Say Louis to get it done. This is actually a pretty fun matchup on the card. Looking at the lines for this fight, Levi Rodriguez obviously sitting at underdog odds. Currently plus 165. Either fighter to win by KO minus 425. Either fighter to win by sub plus 12,000 or plus, no, plus 1,200. Levi Rodriguez sub plus 1,750. I think for Rodriguez, it would be, the chance of ground and pound would be something he's looking for. I mean, dog or pass makes sense. Say Louis KO is minus 135. It's not great, but it is what it is. I don't even like round one KO. Under 2.5. Let's see what is under 2.5. Under 2.5 is minus 600. Minus 600. So there's really not much quality. There's not much you can do with this fight, man. I don't know. I wish I had better options. Under 2.5 at 6-1 should hit. And do I throw an under 2.5 at minus 600 in there? I guess you could parlay piece it. All right, let's see. Levi Rodriguez, round one KO. I'll put it down for you. Let's see. Plus 450. I feel like that's not even necessarily worth it. How do I get Louis from Liu? Bruh, Liu, Louis, you know what I'm saying. Liu has kickboxing wins against, I think, guys that are notable. I mean, he's a K1 champion. I'm not the most knowledgeable on who's the best in kickboxing right now, but he hasn't lost in kickboxing since 2021. So I'd say it's pretty respectable. Hey, W. Sherm from Jackson. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships, bro. I appreciate you. It is kind of shit odds, bro. Like, no matter which way you spin it. Ce Liu wins by KO under a round and a half. Let's see what that is. Plus 120, not even worth it. Ce Liu knockout round 2 plus 475, I guess. Yo, round 1 plus 170. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're just staying away. It's one of those fights, dude. Both fighters to win by KO minus 425. You know, that's not great either. It's really the unfortunate limitation. We have an unfortunate limitation, bro. That's how this game goes, bro. Keisha J was meant to be a member. That's funny. One of the weigh-ins, I think they'll be on around 11 p.m. tonight. So that's why I'm doing the show early. Skip, definitely a skip option. I fully understand that. Doesn't feel like the best financial investment of a fight. But chat does like Liu by KO, it seems. This is a mad early card for me, bro. 3 a.m. on Saturday, and then road to UFC tomorrow at 5 a.m. But I'm well prepared for it. You know me, guys. I'm built for this shit, bro. I love this. This makes me happy. I got no problem being on a weird ass sleep schedule. When we have the weigh-in video posted, probably between 1 and 2 a.m., depending on when the weigh-ins finish. That is my current plan. All right. I'm going to get ready to bring up the poll for the next one. All right. All right. Let's go. Next fight up the card. We got Alex Perez versus Sumudaerji. I think Sumudaerji has really come into his own. And I mean, the first time they fought, Sumudaerji was beating Alex Perez up. Sumudaerji was kind of styling on him, dude. Like, he was showing him different striking levels. Sumudaerji looked like he was potentially going to get a fucking knockout, you know? So I think to myself, Sumudaerji with a big edge in distance striking and precision, there is this possibility that he is able to get Perez out of there. Sumudaerji KO at plus 200. Not bad. Possible. Definitely a possibility. He's live for it. Round 2 or 3 KO, I think that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Fight to start round 2 and Sumudaerji to win by KO. It's plus 425. That's not bad. I like Sue's style. I mean, I had him as the underdog lock last time, and he was looking like a great dog. Now, bit of a lopsided favorite, but it is what it is. I do think he's prepared for this matchup. Stylistically, I think there's struggle on the opposite side. And yeah, I like the chance, bro. I like the chance of Su showing out. I think Sumudaerji is up for it and up for it in a big way. All right. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. All right. You watching Francesco Nuzzi tape right now? What are you thinking? Sumu by finish early? Perez struggled to get him down last time, though. The grappling defense of Sumudaerji has improved a lot. You think Perez elite enough to go in with a better game plan? Let's see. I like Sumudaerji, guys. I'm a fan of his style. I like his chances to win, and I'm going to pick him here. I'm going to pick him here. Sumudaerji by decision, plus 200 for it. Not a terrible read. Maybe a takedown defense there. If he gets him down, should be over. Couldn't do it last time. Let's see. Value is on Perez now. True. True. I respect you going Perez. I don't know, man. I like Su's chances in this spot. But you are paying a premium on Su this time. Completely agree. And it's annoying because we got the gift that keeps on giving last time. Perez sub plus 800. All right, parlay Pete. I'll remember that just for you. I think Sumu should style on him, personally. I think Su ends up being a parlay piece, but hey, the chat disagrees. The chat has got dog or pass as the pick. Okay, people. Dog or pass for the people. Respect on the read. You got balls. AJ, last week I was in the chat. I said Deliche has some bitch in him. I think that was a call of the year. It really was Xbox King Cam. The fact that he pulled guard, it's like Deliche doesn't care to fucking win. He's just there for the check. He's like, either I'll get a submission or I'm just going to get stopped, and it is what it is. I'm not taking any chances. Deliche has fallen off completely. Deliche is not an elite fighter at all. All right. Let's keep running up. Next fight is our featured fight. It's Aoriqileng versus Kai Asakura. I really like Asakura's striking in this spot. The hand speed difference is a big deal to me. Aoriqileng is strong, and he's a good striker too. He hits pretty hard, and he's got a lot of experience. But I feel like Kai Asakura has such an edge in the kickboxing skills. My God. I feel like Aoriqileng is going to look turtle speed slow out there against Kai Asakura. I think the difference in speed is immaculate between these two. Now, Asakura KO, minus 155. Definitely not the greatest of lines ever, but Asakura by knockout seems like the side that would be most sensible. Aoriqileng, he's been knocked out in 2 of his past 3 losses, but he is a tough customer. Like, I got to put some respect on Aoriqileng's name. Aoriqileng normally fights pretty decent, but last time out, Cody Haddon kind of made him his bitch, and then that other fight, he went out there and got killed by Heyman Zahabi and got knocked out, which I don't like that. That Rosas fight, Rosas is just a grappler. So my thought pattern is we should most likely see the side of Asakura light him up. And I think it's going to be a striking fight. I anticipate Aoriqileng at home in China too, with the chance to knock out the striker. He may try and grapple, but I don't feel like he's that good at grappling where I'm sitting here like fearful that it's going to be a knockout loss on the ground or a submission loss for the side of Asakura. Like Aoriqileng's game is to throw hands. And I think, unfortunately, he's getting fed to Asakura a little bit. I'm surprised they did it in China. Damn. Asakura's striking is high caliber, man. And I think Asakura's probably getting a knockout in the first round. I could see Aoriqileng lit up fast. Now, some people might like Dogger passing it because Aoriqileng looked cool in his interview and has some aura, but let's just call a spade, man. You are talking about a truly highly skilled striker versus more of a brawler. And I'll anticipate that we see a quality performance from Kai Asakura. And I think he should go out and get the finish here. I think this fight definitely live to end inside the distance. I feel like, would I be surprised they go long? Yeah. I don't think they're going 15. Too much of an imminent danger threat with Asakura. I think KO's coming at some point. I think at minus 155, KO makes sense. Aoriqileng lacks the speed on the feet, lacks the head movement, lacks the defense. So what's he going to do? He's going to have to land the wildest of wild shots, and I don't think it's that likely to come through for him. Either fighter to win by KO is minus 200. I think either fighter to win by KO, not a terrible idea. But I don't think, you know, I don't think it goes anything other than Asakura KO. I'm sorry, Aoriqileng. Just he doesn't do it for me in this matchup. Asakura does have great footwork. He's too fast. He's too elusive. He's too technically sound. He's too sharp, man. Aoriqileng, if Aoriqileng had a submission game, it'd be like, oh damn, maybe the grappling. But he doesn't. Aoriqileng, more of a knockout boxer. And I think he's getting cooked. So I think we see Kai Asakura put it on him and get a knockout. Just take finish in case he's going to grab the neck. He's being told to grab the neck. That's interesting. Well, if you want to just go Asakura finish, it's minus 170. Asakura by submission is plus 2,000. So if you do have knockout, you could sprinkle prop the plus 2,000. At the end of the day, though, Asakura is a striker. He has 3 wins by submission. Club and sub always possible, but most likely Kai Asakura by knockout. I'm going to say first round, but yeah, it's a fucking bantamweight fight. We're live to hit round number 2, but the Asakura hands should be a massive difference in power. The footwork is a big issue. And I just don't really see anywhere that Aoriqileng is better than Kai Asakura. Should I vote Asakura KO or KO? Oh, fuck, bro. My bad. I got to redo that. My bad. Thank you for letting me know. Double KO, guys. You can either play it at minus 155 or plus 195. No, it's KO round 1. RoboCop does have the dog in him. I don't think Kai is as bankrupt on the ground as people think. And Aoriqileng, no, he doesn't really have that much of a ground game. He's got 1 submission win as a pro. Hey, Anthony Perea, W, where he says, AJ, you're the man. Let's go. I think Asakura lights him up in the first round. So I'm going to say Kai Asakura by KO. I think he shows levels. Stand-up game, too sharp, too technical, too precise, too accurate, too much of a problem. He looked awful against Timmy Boy. Bro, it is what it is. Styles make the fights. And to be fair, Aoriqileng lost to Jeff Molina and Cody Durden back in the day at flyweight. I think Cody hadn't beat Sky easily. I probably would grapple him, but that has nothing to do with this matchup. I think this matchup, Kai Asakura, cooking Aoriqileng. You feeling second round for Kai? Listen, second round's better odds, Xbox King Camp. So if you get it second round, you're going to get a better line than first round. But minus 155 just off the KO. I think it makes some sense. All right. Kai Asakura to go out and to show out. I agree. At bantamweight, he's different. He was fighting at bantamweight for most of his career. Ended up making the move and then going up or going down rather to flyweight. But the big weight cut, man. He's not a small guy. I think 135 is perfect for Kai. And his striking, absolutely problematic. Next fight up the card is our ladies co-feature. It's Xiaonan versus Denise Gomes. I think this is going to end up being a pretty competitive back and forth fight. I think Denise Gomes is live to land a little bit more significant strikes, man. I think she's going to get up in the boxing range, get in the face of Xiaonan. I feel like Denise Gomes has turned the corner a bit and is starting to put it all together. Not that Xiaonan isn't a very good striker. She absolutely is, but Denise Gomes 26, Xiaonan 37, Gomes on a 4-fight win streak. I feel like it almost just seems like this is the time that Denise Gomes passes this type of test. I feel like her flurries and close are going to catch Xiaonan. I think her in the pocket boxing is superior to Xiaonan. I do think Xiaonan's a better kicker and better from the outside, but I feel like Gomes is going to be able to keep her head on the swivel and close the gap and get some shots up in range. Definitely a competitive fight. Definitely a ladies matchup that's hard to call, but one where I'm going to trust in Denise Gomes on a 4-fight win streak, confidence riding high, and potentially starting fast, and Xiaonan maybe even showing a little bit of a ring rust. So I'm going to say Denise Gomes can get the job done. I feel like she's an evolving prospect on the rise, whereas Xiaonan, a tough staple at the top, but I don't know about how much longer she's going to hold that spot. So I'm going to go with the dog, but am I extremely confident? Fuck no. I'm not extremely confident, but I am picking Gomes. I think she's live to do a little bit more in a close 15-minute fight. I think it gets down to the wire. I think that it's, pretty back and forth. I think we're live to go all rounds. Fight goes distance, hideous, minus 275. Xiaonan by decision, plus 100. I know some folks are going to like that. I'll bring that on the table there. Other side of it, Gomes by decision. It's plus 260. I think that's live too. Now, one thing about Denise Gomes, though, she does have 7 knockouts. Yan Xiaonan, to be fair, she got ground and pounded. She got 8 knockouts as a pro, but less fights for Gomes. Granted, less high tier comp. Last time we saw a knockout for Xiaonan, it was a quick KO of a Jessica Andrade. She just kind of blitzed at her. I don't know what the hell she was doing. There could be a chance that Denise Gomes shocks everybody and ends up putting her away. Like picking a ladies fight for a KO. I don't know. I just think Gomes has got a shot for this fucking knockout with the flurrying hooks, throwing big heat over the top and timing one. I feel like even against Tisha Penny, it was like, wow, okay. Denise Gomes putting it together now. So I'm going to go with Denise Gomes as a dog. I think she's a good dog pick on this card. And it's a card that I think a good amount of the favorites win, but there's got to be at least one underdog. And I actually think if there is one underdog that hits, this is probably the one. And I'm going to go towards Denise Gomes pulling off the upset against the local China star in Yan Xiaonan. Xiaonan does have an impressive resume. Hasn't fought in over a year, though. I think Gomes is ready. She's fucking quick, man. Natural athlete, too. And I've been talking about Denise Gomes for years. I've been waiting for her to break into the top. She had a couple of fumbles, but I think now she's ready for the jump. Denise won't respect Jan's power. I agree, and I don't think Jan has the power to put her away. 4 straight wins, hasn't lost since 2023. She's got, 3 knockouts in the UFC. I think it's a big deal. Lost to Loma Lookboonmee in her debut. They threw her out in a tough fight to start it off. Lost to Angela Hill 3 fights later. They threw her in a tough fight. And then she beat Tisha Pennington handily. She had knocked out Elise Reed early in round number 2. And Elise Reed showed some toughness against Chanel Dyer, man. I think Denise Gomes, definitely an underrated female knockout specialist. And I'm not going to be surprised if Denise Gomes actually pulls off a fucking KO. So I'm going Denise Gomes as a dog. I think he's live to pull it off against Yan Xiaonan, who's 37, coming off of a layoff. And, the recent win for Yan Xiaonan is a Tabitha Ritchie decision, which, hasn't necessarily aged great. Tabitha Ritchie currently on a 2-fight losing streak. She was able to beat Amanda Hebos, but, it's Amanda Hebos. So we're riding with the hot streak on Denise Gomes. I think that's a big deal. 10-year age gap. You're right. There's so many intangibles, man. Like Denise Gomes is putting it together, dude. I really think so. 4 wins in a row and looking good. I think she's due. And I'm going to say she does it. So I am going with the underdog of Denise Gomes to go out and get the win. And, obviously KO is the wild call, but she is live to do some damage. And she is a girl that fucking hits hard, man. One of the few girls that really can rip some big punches. And I think that could matter here. And now we got 1 fight left. It's our main event of the evening. We're going to get to it in just a moment. All right. To finish out the show, we got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Song Yadong. If you guys have enjoyed this week's PropAholics show, be sure to leave a like. Be sure to subscribe. The Nurmagomedov side is the pick. I think he shuts down Song Yadong. I think he's able to kick well with him on the outside, time takedowns, and positionally control and outwork Song over a 25-minute fight. I wish I could be telling y'all a miraculous upset or something like that would happen. But no, instead, I think Umar Nurmagomedov should look pretty fucking good here and probably put on a potential performance of a lifetime. That's kind of what I'm thinking. This is the potential. Holy shit, he's really put it together. Now is the time. Now he has it, etc., 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 etc. And 49-46 decision, probably that into a live chance that he's a shoo-in for a title fight. Now, looking towards the lines, the minus 600 money line is atrocious. I do think that a decision would make a lot of sense for the side of Umar Nurmagomedov. But if you don't want to chase the decision, maybe you're thinking he's live for a finish at some point, there is a Song Yadong, or rather, Umar Nurmagomedov over 2.5 is minus 250. Minus 250, decision, minus 160. But you got a whole extra half of a fight for 90 more points in your favor. Up to you what you want to do. But I do think Umar in a longer drawn-out fight, and I am picking a decision. But, hey, what if Umar finally gets a fucking stoppage? What if this is the one? He finally puts it together and he gets a 3rd round or 4th round submission, But it probably goes distance. This is, certain fights that almost feel like guarantees to go the full 25 minutes. I feel like this fight is almost guaranteed to be that. Now, let's see. Is there any takedown props available? No, I don't have any of that. That's annoying. Umar Nurmagomedov to win by decision. Fight goes distance is minus 210. Yeah. Nothing there, really. There's not. Uneventful as far as the prop bet inside for the main event, but I think Umar Nurmagomedov should go out and show out in a lopsided fight. Should be, pretty dominant. Be nice to see him get a finish, but as of right now, Umar Nurmagomedov pretty much a decision merchant inside of the UFC. Last finish was January of 2023 when he one-shotted Raoni Barcelos. Before that, he actually started his UFC career off with back-to-back submissions against Sergey Morozov and Brian Kelleher. Obviously, not elite level guys. And, as of late, it's been decision merchant for the side of Umar. Song Yadong, he has been knocked out twice, but to be fair, doctor stoppage, knockout, and then you're talking early career in 2016 when he was a motherfucking kid at, 18 years old, and he got knocked out one time. So I think distance making all the sense. We're probably looking at 5 hard between the two, but with Umar having a bit of a tempo advantage, a step up throughout, and just looking a little bit better for the entirety of the fight. And that is why I'm going with Umar Nurmagomedov to win by decision as the official pick. I do think, the over 2.5 Nurmagomedov, if you're like, fuck picking a winner, or rather, not fuck picking a winner, fuck going full 5. What if Umar gets him out late? But probably not. Probably not. The fight to just go over 4.5 is minus 250. You could run it over 4.5. I think we're looking at a full 25-minute fight. So that is the thought process. I think fight's going distance, and I will predict that the A side of the matchup is Umar. You think Umar gets the back with Song's defensive grappling? Hard to do. Song's hard to beat up on the ground, hard to finish. Unless it's a doctor stoppage, probably not. AJ, can we touch on Song being with Uriah for his career? Want to hear your insight on his defensive grappling and how you think it holds up here versus Umar? I think it holds up to a point where he's not going to get fucking mauled. He's not going to get mounted and ground and pounded or destroyed with elbows or submitted. I think he will eventually escape, but there will be some takedowns timed by Umar. I think it's a competitive back and forth type of fight, but it's one where you feel Umar leads the way. Even with the striking, I think Umar's technicality from the mid and long range caused problems to Song Yadong. And I think Song has a hard time getting up on the inside and landing his power shots. And I think Umar should outpoint him for 25 minutes and take it on the scorecards, show up in shape, time a few takedowns, get some takedowns defended, and land some decent shots. So I'm going to go with the side of Umar Nurmagomedov to still be amongst the elites in the game. Bro, I got Song. I don't have a reason, just that line. I get it, bro. I get why. I mean, it would be a lot of fun if we saw some crazy shit happen, like a Song Yadong wow. But no, I think Umar Nurmagomedov's too technically sound. Song better striker. I would say better boxer, but not better striker. Striking is more than just hands. Yes, Song has better hands purely in a close range boxing situation. But Umar Nurmagomedov does work a good jab. He has very good kicks. He's very good with his footwork. I think those counteract pure close range boxing skills in a pretty massive way. And that is why I feel pretty strongly that Umar Nurmagomedov puts on a relatively high quality performance. Why not over 3.5 takedowns for Nurmagomedov? Because I don't have that line available. But yeah, Nurmagomedov landing takedowns. He should hit, 3 to 4 takedowns at least. I think so. Song has lost in China before, pre-UFC, I believe. Against Piotr Yan, he lost. And nope, that wasn't in China. What am I thinking? Boom, boom, boom. Has he lost in China in the UFC? No. But he's lost in China on the regional scene. Song has to crash versus Umar's kicks. Absolutely. And he's going to have to wing some shots over the top. Song's chance here is potentially timing an uppercut as Umar level changes. or fucking ripping a bomb of a left hook and just catching Umar perfectly. But hard to predict a one-shot KO, especially in the bantamweight division. And that's just not something that I would do. So my pick is Umar Nurmagomedov to win by decision, minus 160. I feel pretty confident. And I think we're live to go all rounds between the Savages. So should be a decent fight, though. I don't think it's going to be boring. I think it'll be good. Like, I think people are thinking it's going to suck. I don't think it'll suck. I think it'll just be a high-level, technical chess match type of fight. So that is my thought process for the matchup. Now, I do quickly want to recap everything that went down. Obviously, Nurmagomedov decision, 37%. But let's go from fight one up, and I'll just give you guys the results of the poll. And then I'll also put the polls in the Discord, and I'll post an updated Discord link in the members tab. So for Dingman Cam Nelson, just money line it, got 52%, which I actually think that's sensible. For the following fight, Jingnan Xiong, Julia Polastri, the people like Xiong as an underdog. Dog or pass hit 40%. Fight after that, another one, dog or pass at 38% between Louis and Santiago. Fight up. Next one, Woodson versus the side of Jenkins. The chat decided they like a just money line it at 51% on either side. Secondary prop was Woodson to win over 1.5 at plus 100. Fight after that, the chat felt that Xiao over 1.5 with 56% of the votes for plus 100 was the right side of the call. Fight after that one, Tsuruya by sub got a 47% of the people's vote with 38% on finish. So it's the Tsuruya show, according to the people. Batbayar and Lima actually was a dogger pass with 40% of the people liking the dogger pass side as opposed to any of the other votable options. Starting off the main card, Bilal Hasan by finish at 46%, minus 170 line was the people's call. Up above that, Liu KO at minus 135 got 62% of the people's votes. Dogger Pass got 37%, favoring Alex Perez, with the other side of Parlay Piece for Sue got 29%. But to be fair, the other votable options were Sumudaerji KO, which got 29% as well, tying with the parlay piece, and Sue to win in the fight to start round two by KO as well, which the DGen play got 5%. So, like, realistically, the people still favored towards Sue. There was just one Perez option. Asakura by KO got 44% of the votes here in the Aoriqileng fight. Denise, Gomes, and Xiaonan. Surprisingly, Yan by decision took it at 39%. And then above that, at the top, Umar Nurmagomedov by decision took 37% of the people's votes, with 26% on Nurmagomedov over 2.5 at minus 250. A less powerful line, but giving you less time to worry about in case a later stage finish was to happen for Nurmagomedov, it feels. So that right there is the PropAholics show. That is the PropAholics recap of everything. I hope you guys enjoyed, man. I had a lot of fun. I was happy I was able to get this done before 7 o'clock. Look at that, man. We finished the show and it's not even 7 by me. I have an extremely busy content night coming my way. I have the UFC Shanghai weigh-in recap show. I have an extremely busy morning coming my way. I have the UFC, or rather Road to UFC Shanghai full card fight companion. So there is a lot of stuff that I will be doing in the next 12 hours. So definitely keep your eye on the channel. I know some of you guys are members and maybe want to join the Discord. If you haven't yet, I'm going to post an updated Discord link in the membership tab right now, so you guys can run over there and click. And then I'm also going to link you guys up with my Road to UFC breakdown. I feel like that's a worthwhile watch for the Savages. So let's get into a little Road to UFC thunder. If you have yet to watch my Road to UFC picks, this was the first ever Road to UFC prediction show and the first ever Road to UFC weigh-in recap show. So you guys can get my Road to UFC breakdown right now. You guys can run over and watch that shit. I think you guys will enjoy it. I had a lot of fun making it, and I think I got some pretty solid picks on the card too. All right. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you Savages in a little while. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you guys for tuning into PropAholics. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you for the recap show of the weigh-ins, and I'll see you guys for Road to UFC Live tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.